Good evening, LEG. Commish here. I'm reaching out to you all tonight with a proposal. As some of you might know, there was some talk of an agreement being put into place in the group chat. Some people in the group chat were discussing that there should be punishments for teams that trade away their best players for keepers, which really had me thinking. It's been a couple weeks, so I've had a couple weeks to think about it, and there are some things that I think will make the league better. I reached out to each and every one of you, showing you a rough draft of the proposal, which included punishing teams for trading keepers and trading for future draft picks, upping the buy-in, and the rookie draft. So over the past couple days, we've really watered down that rough draft, and we've come up with a final draft. So for tonight, instead of me making this giant write-up, I decided that I was going to make a video because it's easier for me. And I would just like to ask the league 2 questions. We'll go with Article 1, the easiest. So first, we would like to raise the league buy-in to $200. You would have the base buy-in be $100, and the additional $100 would be attached to your FAB dollar amount. Now, we would also be changing the FAB dollar amount to $100, but with the additional $100 that would be adding into the league. Let's say a team were to spend $50 FAB throughout the entire year. Within that additional $100 pool, you would be adding $50 into the money pool, and the other $50 would be returned to the team owner at the end of the year. Makes it a little more interesting. That's Article 1. Dave's idea. Article 2 includes 2 different things. Now, these are a couple things that were voted against in the league pool. I wanted to bring them up again because I'd like to explain why they can make the league better. Number 1, the trading of future draft picks. Now, I know there are some people who are in this league that are against the trading of future draft picks, which I understand. They're very valid reasons. But I think that, and I'll use this as an example, the trade between Paul and Joe, I think that had Paul had the option to trade for future draft picks, he wouldn't have unloaded 2 of his best players to Joe, which is now ultimately making him a huge favorite for either one of 2 things: getting the first overall pick next year or winning the entire league. I said it. Austin Ekeler and CeeDee Lamb. Let's say Paul had the option to trade for draft picks. He probably would have traded Austin Ekeler to one team and CeeDee Lamb to another team, both for second-round draft picks and, throwing in a couple other keepers in there. I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know exactly what would have happened. But all I do know is that if Paul were to trade Austin Ekeler and CeeDee Lamb to Joe with the option of draft picks, then Joe probably would have had to give up, hypothetically, a second and a third-round pick. That means that instead of Joe just giving away Garrett Wilson this year, like who fucking cares, he would have actually had to pay for it next year, which is a big benefit to people in the league, because at least you could be like, well, Joe, he gave away a second and third round pick for next year, so he's all in this year, and Paul is thinking about the future. It would have benefited both of them more, and it probably would have made the league feel a little bit better knowing that Joe would have had to give up a couple picks for next year. with the draft pick trading, if you trade one pick, similar to how it is in the summer, when we do the off-season trading, if you trade one pick, the other team has to send you a pick back. That much is for sure. Additionally, and I know Pat has brought this up before, that, you know, a team who's going to be leaving next year could just trade away all of their draft picks and completely screw the league and, you know, whatever. So to prevent that from happening, we're going to make it so that the draft picks, you can't trade your first round draft pick. The highest draft pick that you can trade for is the second round. A first round draft pick will be reserved in case something like that happens, at least the team that's taking over for a team that's leaving, who might have traded away all of the draft picks. First of all, I don't think that any of you guys are going to leave. This is a league of gentlemen. I feel like if anybody were to leave, they would at least give it like a 1 year notice or something like that. I can't envision any of you guys actually doing that. Some of you can, I just can't. You're all gentlemen here. Unusual, but definitely gentlemen. Anyways, back on subject here. So you can't trade a first round draft pick, but you can trade every other draft pick. But the draft picks that you're sending to another team have to equal the same amount that you're receiving. Let's say that doesn't matter and something slips through the cracks where a team trades away, like worst case scenario here. So like, let's say that a team trades away every single one of their draft picks, and I mean, the new team would have the first round draft pick. I think that the league could come to some sort of agreement to make up compensatory, sandwich picks. You know, we would give some kind of picks to the new team. Plus, if that were to happen, since we are giving these new picks to this new team, if any of you were to leave after that, I am sure, like, we all know each other. None of us would fuck over, you know, the entire league, knowing the backlash that they're going to get. You're going to get 4 o'clock in the morning text messages from Peach Lely telling you to go fuck yourself and stuff like that. And, you know, nobody wants any of that. Back to what I was saying. We're all gentlemen here. We can trade future draft picks. We can set up the future of our team. Now, they're only 1 year ahead. I think this is completely fine. Plus, it's going to balance out all these keeper trades that are happening because people are making trades for keepers. So they're already trading rounds, technically, based off of how they feel and, you know, what they feel like they're worth. Trading for draft picks would even all of that out and make things more fun. So future round draft picks, that's part of Article 2 in that vote. The next one is even more fun. Been talking with Pete and Mike about this shit all day. Talked with Nick, Evan, Dave, all those guys. There is another league. Yes, I know we're not supposed to talk about other leagues. There is the LOG. So I have experience with this whole keeper league stuff. Where in year 7 or 8, I've lost track. But one of the biggest complaints that teams have, or league owners, is that all of the best players are gone. The top 36 best players are off the board. And that really got me thinking about how we can, still have a shit ton of fun during the draft and adding a ton of strategy and really just letting you figure out what you would like to do with your team, because you are a general manager of one of the team in the League of Unusual Gentlemen. So the thing that we thought of, and I'll just give you the baseline here, is that any rookie picked, let me see, in the 7th round or higher will cost a 6th round pick the following year. Now, this is interesting, I know. So the reason why we thought this would be a good idea, and we'll use Marvin Harrison Jr. for an example. Let's say that he gets, let's say it's not going to happen, but let's say he gets picked by the Kansas City Chiefs, right? Yeah, you want that guy. And that means that he's going to get picked in the 1st round. Now, this makes the first round pick, the first overall pick, more valuable. Now, whoever has the first overall pick, probably in most cases deserves it. You also have probably Stephon Diggs and CeeDee Lamb who are available up there as well. So it really gives you the choice, and it shows your hand to the rest of the league, whether you're in it for the future or you're in it to win it now. It really kind of makes it adds to the keeper dynasty hybrid that we have going on, I think. But let's say that Marvin Harrison Jr. gets drafted to who's a developing quarterback right now? Bryce Young. Okay, let's say he gets drafted to the Panthers. It's not possible because the Bears have that pick. But let's say you got the 4th overall pick and you want to take a chance on Marvin Harrison Jr. You're going to have him in the 6th round as a keeper for next year, and you can really watch all those guys develop. Another thing, and not using Marvin Harrison Jr. as an example, is going to push up every rookie into the top 6 rounds. Meaning that the watered down, depleted first 6 rounds, because there's 36 players that are gone, is going to get filled up a little bit. That makes the first rounds more fun. And it really adds a different level of strategy into those rounds. Now, you can still get Amon-Ra St. Brown. Maybe he's an undrafted rookie. You can draft him in whatever round after the 7th, and he's going to still cost that much to keep. Now, that is a diamond in the rough, baby. So, anyways, anybody picked in the 7th round or earlier is going to cost a 6th. In last year's draft, you would have saw Bijan and Jahmyr Gibbs get picked probably in the 1st round. So it moves those guys up, and it fills in those gaps of the keepers that people are having. Over time as well, everybody's going to have a keeper that they love and everything like that. And then the 1st round is probably just going to be filled with all of those 1st-round guys, the Christian McCaffreys and Saquons and everything like that. All those guys are going to be available, and then you'll add in future rookie picks as well. It seems like fun to me, and trying to get those 6th round, let's say you draft a whole bunch of rookies in the first 3 rounds, I mean, you're still going to have to trade for 6th-round picks if you're doing it all in 1 year in the offseason, which could be interesting. It adds a different level. I really love that idea, and I think you all should too. Speaking of like somebody like Jordan Addison or something like that, somebody that you probably would just draft in the 7th round anyways. Let's say you draft, it's going to cause a team to have to draft him in the 5th round because they want a piece of that, and they know that he's going to cost a 6th-round pick in the next year. So what I'm asking all of you guys to do is vote for upping the buy-in. As a compromise, if you don't spend all of your fab, you get the remainder back at the end of the year, which is always nice. The added money to the pool will ultimately increase Team of the Week payout, so we'll create a Player of the Week payout, and it will increase 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and the best team throughout the regular season will also get a payout. So all that stuff is cool. That's Article 1. Article 2, I'm asking you guys to vote for future draft pick trading, for making off-balance trades during the season more fair, since we're already dealing with keepers. And there is a plan in place for all of those negative thoughts that you guys have towards that. And then the second part of Article 2 is the rookie draft pick. Basically, that's just to make the draft more fun and just add that other level of strategy into this fantasy world we call the League of Unusual Gentlemen. Yeah. If you could all just post below, either in the group chat or on Facebook, or if you have any other questions or anything like that, feel free to reach out. But if you could just post either a yes or no, that'd be sweet. Now, I'm going to go watch this game. Hopefully the Chargers put up 35 points. Have a good night, guys.